Hey folks, how you doing? I just wanted to quickly make a video about loops and arrays because this is a really important concept in computer science, and I know that there's lots of content that you've been reading through and hopefully you're understanding, but I thought I'd just go through it a little bit on my own. So, excuse me, just to teach this, I made a little program here, and what it does is it shows off some loops and then later on some arrays. So let's take a quick look. First thing I've done is I've imported the scanner library because I want to be able to read some input from a user just for fun. And so then I make a scanner object called input, and then I'm asking the user to pick a maximum number. And so when they pick that maximum number, I'm not going to change it, which is why I've called it high-val. And I just realized that this should be capitalized because that indicates that it is going to be a final and that it shouldn't be changed. So bear with me while I just go through, make those quick changes, and we're good. So here I have a for loop, and this for loop says I'm going to create an integer called x, and I'm going to start it at 0. And as long as x is less than the high val, which is whatever the user types in, we're going to add x or add 1 to the x value, and we are going to run whatever is in here x number of times. So here's how it works. We're going to I'm going to put a little breakpoint here, and so I'm going to debug my program so that we can all kind of see what's happening as it goes on. So here's my output area. I'm going to choose a maximum number. Let's choose 5. So I hit 5, and because of this breakpoint, my program is going to pause at this point. And now I can see what the values of the variables are. So let's go and take a look. Now you're going to see some stuff that we're not using yet, but see here's high val, and high val's value is 5. And then I want to know what x's value is. And if you look here, you don't see x anywhere. And that's because I haven't run this line of code yet. As soon as I run it, so I'll click this button here, which will step, kind of like, it's like frame forward if you were fast forwarding a movie or something like that. So I click this button here. All right, so now it's run that line of code, and you can see x has a value. So x here, x's value is 0. I can also get that just by hovering over the x, and you can see that x is 0. So right now, we're in the loop, x's value is 0, and so what it's going to do is it's going to print the value of x, which is 0, and then separate it by a space. So let's run that line of code. I'm going to see this, I'm going to step here, and what you're going to see is instead of going down to the next line, it's going to loop back. So this loop is going to keep going until we hit 10. So I step, and notice it goes back. If I go to the output area, see it printed the 0 and the space, and then I'm going to keep going, and notice it's going to keep looping over and over and over again. And if you look at the value of x here, x is now at 2. So I've been through the loop a couple times. X is at 2. It's going to keep going until x hits 4. So right now my value is 4, and it'll loop through one more time. Now x is 5. Or sorry, one more time, my bad. So it's going to keep increasing. And then x was 5 because we added 1. And it says, okay, was x less than high val? In other words, x hit 5, high val was 5. Is 5 less than 5? No, it's not. So now this condition is not satisfied anymore, and so it breaks out of the loop and goes to the next thing. So what you see here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's done. It's not going to output anything else unless, if I were to put an equal sign here like this, then it would include the 5, because now we're saying x has to be less than or equal to 5, but I didn't. I left it like that, so it won't actually print the 5. Okay? Now, these little examples, I can take out this breakpoint now, so we're done with that one. And the next bit here, these examples show how you can alter what you count by. So notice here I have x plus plus, but here I have x plus equals 2. This is a short form for saying increase x by 2 every time. So notice here I said I'm going to show the odd numbers. So I start my loop at 1, I go up to whatever the user typed, and I'm going to add 2 every time. If you're thinking why, well, what's 1 plus 2? 3 plus another 2, 5 plus another 2, 7. All the odd numbers will appear up to whatever the user picked. So here I picked 5, so we should see 1, 3, and then I think that's it because we're not going to include the 5 for the same reasons up top. So I run it. You can see it loop a couple times. There's the 1 and the 3, and then it breaks out. Okay, and then similarly here, I can show the even numbers the same way. It's just now I'm going to start at 0 instead of starting at 1, and it's going to increase by 2 every time. And you can see the output below there, 0, 2, 4, and then done. Now, you don't have to use a loop just to print out the value of x, and that's where we're kind of headed here. So here's an example where I'm going to print out my first name, John, high val number of times. And so if I step through my code here, it's going to print John, 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 over and over again, however many times I typed in. Remember, high val is 5, so it's going to go from 0 to 5 and print out my name. Now you'll notice, x only goes up to, it breaks out at the value of 4, and you might be thinking, well, how come we're seeing John 5 times instead of 4 times? Well, think about that. Here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So even though my high value is 5, I'm going to see 5 Johns. This is the 0th time through the loop, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? The other way I could have done that is I could start my loop at 0 and then include the 5, or that would work. Okay? So there's different ways to control your loop. Now here's where I really want to get to. This part right in here. So I can see I've already put a breakpoint here. I'm going to run down to there. I'm going to clear the output here just so we can see what's going on. And so what I'm doing here is I'm going to print out some of the Marvel characters. Thanos, Loki, Captain America. I'm not sure they're actually my favorites, but sure, let's go with it. And you notice here I have these brackets, and what those indicate is that names, this is the name of my data structure, kind of like my variable, and I'm going to have a data structure called names that's going to be a string array, meaning it's going to hold more than one string, and this one's going to hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. So it's like a hotel. A hotel, I can say, hey, I'm staying at the Holiday Inn. But the Holiday Inn is, it's a hotel with multiple floors, and so I could say, I'm staying at the Holiday Inn on the 1st floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor, and so on. This data structure is called names, but names has multiple compartments. This is going to be in the 0th compartment, which is weird because we don't typically use the word 0th, but in computer programming, an array actually starts at 0. So this is going to be found in spot 0, spot 1, spot 2, spot 3, spot 4, spot 5. Now if you're not sure what I mean by this, that's why I'm breaking this down, because if I hit this button right here, step over, now if I go to variables, you're going to see a variable called names. See, there it is, variable called names. What is it? It's a string array. And if I want to know the value over here, it won't give me the value because there are multiple values to it, but it will tell me that there are 6 things in it. Now if I click this little guy right here, now I can see, okay, names has a 0th spot, and in the 0th spot is Thanos. In the 1st spot is Loki. 2nd spot, Captain America, and so on. And what's interesting to note is that even though names has 6 things in it, there is no 6th item. It goes from 0 to 5. That's 6 things in total, but the 6th thing doesn't exist. Okay, note that. And now I have a loop here where I want to spit out everything in the array. I want to make sure that I did it right and that this array actually works. And this is kind of the power of loops and arrays. What I can do is I can make a loop that's going to go from 0 up to names.length minus 1. If you're thinking, what's this all about? Well, names is the name of my array. Length is however many things are in it. So if I hover over this, you can see there's 6 things in it. But remember, I said you can't go all the way up to 6. You've got to make sure that you don't go off the end of your loop. So if I go through this loop, it's going to go, all right, what is in the xth spot of names. Well, right now X is 0 because it's the first time through my loop. So we should see Thanos appear in our output, and we do. And then it'll loop again, and next we'll see Loki, because now X is 1, and so the first compartment is right there. Again, 0th compartment, first compartment, second compartment, so we should see Captain America now, and now Thor, and now Hawkeye, and then it breaks out of the loop. Look, Ant-Man, we missed it. So, what I need to do is take this out, okay, and now it's going to go and include everything in the array. So, why did I put that there in the first place? I wanted to put it there to note that this can be a little bit confusing. Sometimes if you go online, you will see things where they do this. Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry. There we go. If you include the equals, then all of a sudden things get a little different. Names.length is 6, right? But I don't have a 6th spot. So if I include the equal sign, like if you look online and they're including the equal sign, then you would make that adaptation, where you go up to the 5th item in our case. Or you can do this and not do equal sign, and you can just go to names.length like so. And if I do that, it won't. I just changed it, so I can't run it now, but that will then show everything in the array. So the important parts of what I said, this is how you create an array. Its name is names. I can call it anything I want. I could have called it Marvel characters, whatever. And then these are all the things in the array. Okay. One thing you can do, by the way, I could, if I wanted to, I could take this out and just tell the computer that I'm going to have a string array called names, and in that there are going to be a bunch of new strings, and there's going to be 6 things in the array. So this is me making the array, but maybe I'm not going to assign anything to the array yet. I'm just telling the computer there's going to be an array called names, 6 things are going to be in it, those things are going to be strings. And then I could load it like this. I could say, okay, well, names compartment 0 is going to be Thanos, and compartment 1 is going to be Loki, and so on. I could do it this way. This would be the exact same thing. So you don't have to put things into your array on one line. You can do it in multiple lines if you want to. That works as well. Okay. So an array is a data structure with a whole bunch of things in it, like a hotel. Think of a hotel. And you want to figure out what's on the 0th floor, what's on the 1st floor, what's on the 2nd floor, and so on. Other things, you can also have arrays of multiple types. I could have an integer array instead of a string array, like this. So that makes an integer array with 6 things in it, and then I could go and put numbers in it. If I wanted to put decimals in there, I could put double. I could make an array of double, and then I could go through it the exact same way. Okay. So again, this is a very important concept. Loops and arrays go hand in hand. I hope that this cleared up a few things. If there was anything confusing, if you want to know any further information, as always, just email me. Okay? Thanks everyone. Have a good day.